Okay,
Hi.
we're ready to get started. Excellent. So, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the first in our This is STEM live stream series. We're delighted you could join us and hope you're looking forward to the talk this morning. My name is Conor Megan, and I work with Science Foundation Ireland on a programme called Smart Futures. For those who might not know about Smart Futures or Science Foundation Ireland, I'll give you a brief intro before we kick off our talk. Science Foundation Ireland is the Irish government's largest competitive funder of scientific research in Ireland. In addition to funding excellent research and innovation, Science Foundation Ireland promotes and supports the education in and engagement with STEM. We promote an awareness and understanding of the value of STEM to society. Smart Futures is a programme of activity designed for secondary school students like yourselves and is managed by SFI. Smart Futures is all about providing information to students, teachers, guidance counsellors, and parents about STEM careers. Choosing subjects to study and courses to do at third level can be tricky, and figuring out what career you want can be overwhelming. The Smart Futures programme provides you the opportunity to discover what types of STEM careers are available, and there are many, and hear from people who work in STEM related jobs in Ireland. To continue to connect with students during the current restrictions, we will be hosting a live stream here on our YouTube channel on the last week of every month. Each month, we will discuss one of the four pillars of STEM, beginning with engineering in February, continuing with science in March, technology in April, and concluding with maths in May. Today, to celebrate Engineers Week, we are extremely grateful to be joined by Rahima Ahmed. Rahima is a civil engineer at Punch Consulting Engineers, a recent graduate of Limerick Institute of Technology, and she was awarded the inaugural Engineering Engagement Award by Engineers Ireland Thomond Region. If you have any questions, please pop them in the chat box. There will be time allocated for a Q&A session at the end. Before we wrap up the session, I will let you know about an opportunity to win a pair of Apple AirPods. So enough from me, I've been delighted to introduce Rahima to talk all things engineering.
Hi, thank you so much, Connor. My name is Rahima Ahmed. I'm a BIM technician from Punch Consulting Engineers. I graduated from LIT last year in November, and I'm a committee member of Engineers Island Thomond Region. I'm also a committee member of the YES, the Young Engineer Society Thomond Region, and a co-founder of Young Engineer Society Thomond Region. And thank you for giving me an opportunity to be here. It's a great opportunity for me.
Excellent. So thanks for that brief introduction. So I'd like you to begin by talking about your journey to your current career.
Well, I was born in Kenya. I wasn't actually, I'm not from Ireland. So I was born in Kenya and then I moved to Hungary. I did 1 year of language in Hungary. Then me and my parents moved to Ireland in 2015. And when I came to Ireland, I had not studied any high school, secondary schools because I was just moving around. And when I came, I was like 18, so no schools could take me at that age to join secondary school. But Youth Reach, it's the Vitos school. It gave me an opportunity to join fifth year and sixth year. So I did fifth year and sixth year, and all the subjects were new to me, and all because I hadn't done history or construction or engineering. So I did construction engineering and all, but at first I know all my whole family, my parents, they all wanted me to do biology, science, medicine, because I come from a family where everyone is becoming a doctor, a nurse, a midwife, something like that. And I don't like biology at all. And no offense, but I don't like it. And so I love numbers so much. So the reason, like, the whole point of me choosing engineering is at first I didn't know what to do, but all I did was, and I know for most people, like they have role models where they'll be like, oh, I want to be like this and this engineer or that. But I didn't have that. But the only way I did engineering was I just found out, okay, I'm good at maths, I'm good at physics and chemistry. So what career can I take? And I found out about engineering. I wanted to do petroleum engineering at first, but then petroleum engineering you have to do in specific countries that only produce petrol. So I went ahead with civil engineering because I felt maybe there will be a little more female than other types of engineering. So I did fifth and sixth in Vitos, then joined LIT civil engineering course level 7. So I did civil engineering in LIT, which we had so many subjects like maths, IT, drafting, land surveying, and all. And I became I think on 2017 or 2018, I joined the Engineers Island Thomond region, became a committee member of Engineers Island Thomond region. And then from there, when I joined Engineers Island Thomond region, I used to go to so many meetings, so many events, and that made me be more interested because I used to meet so many successful engineers who were part of the committee, or even just people who come to give talks or people who come to the events. And that has really helped me because every time I go to an event, I meet directors or senior engineers or just graduate engineers, and they all teach me new things. I get to experience from them, like they will be giving me tips on or how you can do a certain subject or which subject you should focus if you want to be on a certain, because like for a civil engineer, there's so many paths you can take after you have a civil engineer degree. So each one of them had like all the civil engineers that I met were from different paths. So each one of them will tell me like, okay, if you want to do a structural one, then you should focus more on structures. Or if you want to do be a technician, then you should focus more on IT and drafting. So that whole thing really helped me, like being an Engineers Island committee member, and me going to all the meetings, going to all events has really helped me. And I've gotten people like who became my role model from the committee or from meeting them. But before that, I didn't have any role model who like I could look up to for like on the engineering side of things. So yeah, and then that's how I did it. And I graduated from LIT in 2020, November. And I started working at Punches in September of 2020. That's it. And I won the award in 2020 December. Like, yeah.
So has there anything that surprised you up so far? How well college prepared you for it?
Oh yeah. So most of the time, what you study from college, you expect that it will be there when you're going to work. It might be there, but again, it depends which path you take. So like for me, I do beam. I'm a beam technician. So basically, do a lot of AutoCAD drawings and civil 3D drawing, and that with that part, I can say from college, it was just like 5 to 20% that I got from college. Like everything which I got from college was just like the basic things. And now when I'm working using AutoCAD, like I've used AutoCAD for 3 years in college, but everything that I'm doing now is so way above than what I did in college. Like, so what I mean to say is, and I was told this before by my mentor, who was like, everything that you're learning from college is just getting you ready for the work environment, or I mean the workplace where you're going to work. So it's literally like when you're going to work, you are going to learn new things every single day. And for only you to grow, for you like to go up the level is for you to be ready to learn every day, and don't ever feel like, okay, I will be stupid for asking this question or something. No. And that's very surprising, because you feel like, okay, maybe now I have a degree and I'm good to go and I can work at any place with anything. But that's not true, because once you go to work, there's so many new things which you're not taught in college, which like in college they just give you the top layer, and there's so many other layers which you'll have to learn while you are in at work. Like,
Yeah. So I suppose to elaborate on that, you say you're learning every day. What sort of activities does your average day pertain?
well, now I work from home. Like, so I don't go to site because I mean I might maybe once in a while, but as a BIM technician, I use AutoCAD and Civil 3D just to draw. I do a lot of drawing. At the moment, I don't design anything because I just started working. So I'm hoping one day I'll be able to design, but at the moment I draw what's already designed, and that means I can draw like drainage pipes or wastewater pipes. I draw road levels or roads, which I mean I'm already given levels, or the design is already made. I just have to draw them, or like landscaping, hard landscaping. So for me now, I spend 7 hours per day just on the screen drawing, and that's all I do. Like at the moment, like.
Yeah. And I suppose in normal circumstances, I know you're only there a couple of months, but outside of COVID implications, what would your average day have been prior?
Like for work or for college days?
Well, if you were, so for example, if COVID wasn't a thing at the moment,
Yeah.
would you be out and about? Would you be visiting sites? What would you be doing?
No, not really, because I'm a BIM technician. So maybe you might visit the site probably once in 4 months or something, because we deal with the drawing. We're not really into the construction part. So I'm only at the drawing part, where once I'm done with the drawing, the engineers take the drawings and construct them. So I'm a civil engineer. I know I graduated as a civil engineer, but the path that I took wasn't the engineering one. I went to the technician, which is part of engineering, the same, but it's only on the technical side, drawing side, and not the site. Like, you obviously have to experience the site, because there's things which you will you will draw, and unless you have seen it on site, you will have no idea what you're drawing or how it's supposed to be. So if you have gone to the site, then you have seen, let's say, a pillar, how a pillar is constructed, something. So you know the measurement, and you know, like, okay, if I don't do the right measurement on this, it will collapse. But like that's why you need, as a technician, to go to the construction site once in a while, just to learn the things which are constructed. And so once you come and draw it, it makes sense what you're drawing, like.
I suppose you touched on it briefly earlier, but why did you choose engineering? I know you said you had an interest in maths and such, but was there any other reasons that draw you to engineering?
No, well, I growing up, I know for a lot of engineers will tell you I like breaking things so I can fix them, but that was not for me. I like breaking things because so I can see how they work on it, like inside. So let's say if I have a toys, if it's a toys that goes by remote, then I will just break it, or I just want to know how that thing works inside, like how it rotates or something, which most of the time I used to break it and never fix it. But like I was just learning. I was so interested in it, and also like when I wanted to be a civil engineer, I always used to enjoy. There was so many documentaries, I think on RTE or something, for construction, like where they construct a building from the base to the end, and that had, like, it was in my mind, like, okay, I wish one day I can do something like that, where I see something growing from the start to end. Like that really motivated me into it. But at the same time, um, um, I come from a family again who are all into biology. So every time I tried to get into engineering, my family was pushing me to the biology side. And it was a bit hard for me, like, to get into engineering. Like, I had to prove myself that I'm going to be good in engineering, because a lot of people around me, I can say 80% of the people around me, did not believe that I could be an engineer, because it's not only they did not believe, it's just they thought it's more of a male dominated career. So, and they looked at me like I'm a lady and all, okay, you won't be able to do engineering, and because everyone who is there is a man, how are you going to fit into that world and all. And a lot of people try to talk me out of it. But I remember my teacher in high school was like, you know what, go ahead with the engineering. And once maybe you join college and you still you think like, okay, this is not for me, then you can change your career anytime you want. But if you think this is what you want to do, then you can just go ahead and choose that, and you can be successful with it. And also I was told, I think the head of department or the engineering department in LAT was a lady at that time. So that really motivated me into thinking like, okay, I can do this. Like, I mean, it's not an easy job, obviously. Again, I went to college being the only girl in the whole class. So it wasn't like any other subjects, I mean, or any other courses where you will get a mix of girls and boys or more girls or something. But this one for me was me being the only female student in the whole class. Um, I think also that motivated me thinking like, I can do it. I don't have to be a boy, but I can do this and I can be successful in this. And then I just choose that path of proving people that I can do it. Not really. I am very interested and I love engineering. I love seeing things grow and everything, but I didn't have that person to look up to. Like, oh, I want to be like that person. So I guess that's why I've become so into it and joining Engineers Island Thumb region, joining the YES, because I'm trying to be the role model that girls need to have, because I know there's very few of us. I mean, there is a lot of female engineers, but it's very rare for you to see them. So I mean, you let's say from a family, you can see there's 4 male engineers and 1 female engineer. So, but the male engineers will be more, they will become, they might not be very successful, but they're at the front line. Even like the female might be very successful, but she's at the background. So I'm literally trying my best to be at the front line. So any girls who grow up, or they can be from any race, any religion, or from, I mean, young or wherever you're coming from, as long as you're a lady and you think you can do engineering, then I want to be that person that a girl will be like, I want to be like her, like just to be an inspiration. Even if it's just one girl to be inspired by me, then yeah, I hope it works that way. Like,
Yeah, Byron, and I suppose a lot of people, and perhaps watching today, we might have a lot of people that are apprehensive to pursue a career in engineering. I suppose if you could give a piece of advice that are worried or
well, if you want to do engineering, again, as I said, it's a male-dominated world. You have to be ready to show your best. Like you have to be ready that most people won't look at you as an engineer. They will first look at you as a girl, and you have to prove yourself. Like, okay, I'm a girl, but I'm an engineer too. And I know sometimes, I would say for myself, sometimes it was very hard. Like, I had to prove that I'm an engineer just like other engineers. Just because I'm a girl doesn't make me that I can be like a lesser engineer. No, I'm the same. But the one thing I'll say is, if you have a dream and you think it's a best dream for you, or it's your main goal, then just do what you can to make it work. You don't have to do a career for someone else, like, oh, my parents wants me to be a doctor or something. But are you going to be happy if you become a doctor? Because let's be honest, 10 years ahead, your parents might not be there. So are you still going to work, or okay, my parents are not here anymore, so I'm just dropping this work? And then now you'll have to find another path again. Like, you have to go to college again to study engineering again, because you wanted to become an engineer, but your parents wanted to become doctor. If you're very passionate about something, it becomes so easier, because engineering for me became very easy for me, because I liked it. I was so into it. I was so interested into it. So I would say up late just to do a project, because I love what I'm doing. And every day waking up, going to work, I know there's some days, obviously, you'll have a bad day, like, oh, I don't want to get out of bed. But for me, I'll say 4 of those days every week will be, I am so happy I'm going to work. Like, this is so weird, but sometimes I dream of my own projects that I'm going to do. Like, oh, I haven't added a curb on that drawing, or I haven't added a road on that drawing. And I think it's because maybe I'm very passionate about it and I get so into it. So once you're passionate about something, it becomes way, way easier for you and it becomes less stressful. And you also have to be ready to learn. Always, I will say one thing which really helped me learning a lot whenever I'm around people is be the last to speak. So, and it doesn't mean that you're stupid, it doesn't mean that you are not confident. It just means like when you listen more, you learn more than when you're talking. I mean, again, there's the basic maths is we have 2 ears and one mouth. So that's more like you have to listen more than talk more. So once you, anywhere you go, any meeting, any event, or any place you go, just learn to listen first and then talk. Also, like listening more than talk, sometimes it can save you from embarrassing yourself. Like sometimes you might have a point which it might be a stupid point, but for you maybe it might be good. But when once you listen more, the people who are talking, they might say like, "Oh, that's not a good idea." That's already saving yourself like feeling like, "Oh, if I had said that idea, I would have felt stupid or something." It just makes you feel. I mean, once you listen more, you just learn so much. You become so understanding, and you learn so much while you grow. Like so, that's another tip. Another tip is don't let anyone tell you that you can't do what you want to do because everything is possible. I was told that I won't be able to finish high school. I finished high school. I was told that I won't be able to graduate. I graduated. I was told that I wouldn't get a job. And I'm one person who got a job before most people that I know. So, and if you put your mind into it, anything is possible. Don't let anyone talk you out of it.
Excellent. And from listening to you, I'm sure the other viewers are the same. It really is inspiring hearing how you feel so motivated and passionate about engineering. I suppose there's probably a lot of people out there that maybe are unsure of what their passion is and clearly derives a lot of motivation from that. How would you, I suppose, advise people to find their passion?
Well, I feel first of all, you have to find out what makes you happy when you do it. I'm going to be honest now. I don't like studying. I mean, I know for most people look at me like, oh, you got all these A's and all. How don't you like studying? But I am not a big fan of studying. But I knew that in order for me to be successful, I had to study. But being like already I'm not a big fan of studying. If I would have taken biology, that means more reading, that would have been so stressful for me. So first you have to figure out, okay, what are you good at? If you're good at drawing, fine, go to that path of drawing. If you're good at math calculation, go to that calculation side. Like just try to make life easier for yourself. If you're good at maybe the other science subjects, then find out which career can be, because when I wanted to be an engineer, well, before deciding what I wanted to be an engineer, I wanted to be a gynecologist before. It's way opposite to engineering. But what I did, and now we have the help of Google. What I did is I Googled, like, I am good at math, physics, and chemistry. Which career can I take? That's what I did because I didn't know myself which career will be good for me, but I knew which subjects I'm good at. So which subject, like which career need the subject that I'm good at. That made life easier for me because just because I wanted to be a gynecologist, I'm not good at biology. If that wouldn't really be easier for me, and it would have made me like feel miserable maybe or something. But because I knew first you have to figure out which subject you're good at. Second, even if there's a maybe you might have a subject which you wish you were good at it, then there's so many ways which you can be good at that subject. You just have to find maybe tutoring or something. And once you know that, okay, I can do this, like I know for some people, maybe they're not good at maths and they still want to do engineering. There's so many parts of engineering which might need less maths. I mean, all types of engineering need maths, but there will be some which don't need a bigger percentage. Like for me, I draw so much. I mean, I do the basic maths, which is minus, plus, or something. I love maths so much, but with my drawing, I don't use it much. So you can take that path too. First, you have to find out the subject that you're good at, or the subject which you think if you study they will be easier for you, and then now find the careers which take those subjects, and then from the careers you might have probably like 10 different careers. Choose one which is more interested, which, or you can get to learn about them, each one of them. Like there's so many, you can just Google, okay, so what does a civil engineer does, or what does a petroleum engineer does, where can I work if I take this career, and that will make it easier for you to study or to figure out what you want to study or which path to take. Plus, even if you take a path you're not sure about right now, maybe you take civil engineering, but later on you find out that you're not very good at civil engineering, or maybe it's not very interesting. It's never too late to change it. Like you can change and go to mechanical, you can change to go to medicine or something. Like don't limit yourself. That's one thing I'll also say is be just explore, find out what you want, or find out what you're good at, but don't limit yourself like, oh, I have a time limit of 2 years. If I don't do this in 2 years, then I won't be able to do it. No, like you can study anytime you want, you can change your career anytime you want. So just explore whatever you can. It will help you find what you're good at or what interests you more. Like
Excellent. I think, yeah, it's really inspiring to talk about how much from just doing nothing. I think that's really important. And I think just to bring it back to our viewers today, we have a few questions from them, and I know we said we do a question and answer section at the end. So before we go, we've just have a few questions from viewers that we brought in from social media and such. So what was a typical day in college like for you? So an awful lot of our viewers are about to go into college or are filling out their CAO. So for you that went to Limerick, what was a typical day for you in college?
Usually we'll have probably like 4 subjects each day or something. Now you might have breaks in between. Now for me, I start my morning, which is, again, when I say this, people look at me like you're such a nerdy, but one thing which really helped me study, makes it easier whenever I go to college, is every morning when I wake up, while I'm getting ready, I will listen to a motivational speech or something that will really put me in a mood that, okay, I'm ready to take over or something. And then so I go to college in the morning. I usually have classes. Maybe sometime we have drafting, which is drawing classes, or maths, or structures. And whenever I have breaks, sometimes I used to go to the canteen. Sometimes I just go directly to the library, because we in LAT we have so many projects. So like it's a 50% project and 50% theory. So like our exams is only 50%. So the rest 50 is you just do projects every now and then, assignments and all. So anytime I had a break, if I had a project to do, then I will go to the library and do the project. Or if I don't, I'll probably just spend my time with my friends or something. And then if we have lunch surveying, we usually go out to the I don't know how I'd say. I mean, we just do the land surveying basically just to measure the lands and all. So it's a subject that you have to go outside like to do it. And for me, it was typical like just classes. I meet with my friends maybe for lunch or for breakfast. I mean during break, or I go to the library, do my assignments. And then if I have a meeting at 6, then after I finish college, I'll go to the meeting at 6 till 9 or 8 or something. And if I have an event, the same thing. Now I was that person who used to go to so many events and so many meetings. So sometimes I might have 3 consecutive days where I have maybe 2 meetings and 1 event or something. So every time I finish college, I might, if I have a project to do or an assignment to do, then I might stay till when it's probably 6 and go to the event. Or if I don't, then I might come back home and then go to the event because all our events were at 6:30 or at 7, and they finish around 8:30 or 9. So that was just my typical day, was just studies, go to the library, go to the events or go to meetings, and that's it. Like it might be a bit boring, but that's that's just how I had it. Like
Yeah, and that's very interesting. I think it'll give people a clear insight if they're thinking about pursuing engineering in college. I suppose from your time in college, did you get involved in many things outside of your course in terms of, you talked about events there, anything outside of engineering or societies or whatever? And if so, did you feel like that you benefited from getting involved in these things?
yeah, like I learned so much from not really from college. I mean, I learned college and all, but college will teach you how to do the calculation. Bullying, it might teach you how to do teamwork and all, or how to communicate. But I think once you go out to events or you go to meetings, you get to meet people, you get to um, understand, or like you get to learn how to communicate with other people who are from, let's say, different backgrounds or different careers or something. So me going to events like well, I was part of Engineers Island Thomond Region Committee, as I said before. So we had so many events which were like CPDs, and every time I went to an event, I get to learn new things from new people because I will meet so many different people. And even when you want, I think it's easier for you to get a job when you have good network. And that doesn't mean like for people only to know you, but like when you go out to events, when you go out to meetings, that's like an exposure to yourself. Like people get to see you apart from college, people get to know you, or people let's say for me, like I think I got my job maybe because I applied for that job for so many times, but also it's because most people working in that company have met me in so many events and so many meetings. So let's say you send your CV to a company and they have seen you to another event or another meeting, several meetings. Your CV will stand out more than other people's CVs because they haven't met them. So that is like, that's you exposing yourself. That's you trying to create a networking. So apart from college, it's good just to go out whenever you have an event. Let's say if you're doing engineering, then anytime there's an engineering event, try to go to that place, because first you might meet people who will teach you so much. Second, you might meet people who will be your mentors, and also you will get to expose yourself and create networking. And you might also get help from those people. Like there's people who were good at structures. So anytime I wasn't good at structures, then I will try to find a structural engineer who can maybe explain it in another way. Or if I'm not good at an IT, then I will try to find a technician who can explain to me in a different way. So that's already, it's a free help for you, because once you meet those people, then you create this bond, like friendship bond or something. But anytime you have a problem, it's easier for them to help you because they know you already. So I think it's good if you're doing a career, then volunteer, just do something about it, and that will also fill in your CV, like I did this, I did that, I won this award, and it's very good for that. Like it will make your CV way more stronger, I guess.
Yeah, and I think having a focus on your CV and networking from when you join college, I think that's a really, really useful piece of advice. We have another question here from the YouTube. So we have a question from a viewer asking, do you have any tips for someone looking for a career in mechanical engineering? I know you studied civil engineering, but do you have any tips for someone looking for a career in engineering, perhaps motorsport?
First of all, I think you'll have to find which college you're going to. So maybe in your own college, the lectures that you have, create a bond with your lecturers. That will make your studies very easy. Once you don't understand anything, your lecture can really it will be easier for him to help you if you have a certain bond with your lecturers. And second is find companies which you want to work in, let's say. So once you know a company, try to see if they have any events or if they have any meetings that they're hosting or something that will help you to you might meet people from that company, and also you might learn something from them, and they that will also create a network for you. So let's say you're doing mechanical engineers and there's an event that's coming which is about mechanical. Try your level best to join that, because you will meet other people there who will be maybe at the same level as you, or will be on a higher level, which that's already a network. And second is you're getting mentors, because once you create a bond is that person, let's say for me, all my mentors were from civil engineer, but they were all from the Engineers Island Committee. So I every month I meet them. Any question I have, I will ask them, and they will be ready to explain and tell me why it's that way or something. And also they give me tips and all. And also another thing is your lecturers. So one thing I noticed when I was in college was there's so many things that your lecturers know, so many opportunities that your lecturers have, but they won't give it to you unless they see you are so interested into it. So once you're interested into it, then anything that comes up, they will be like, hey, Rahima, there's this and this and this, do you want to go? That's already a big opportunity. So create opportunity for yourself by being close to people, because once you're close to people, once you have a bond, any opportunity that comes up, they will think about you and come to you and give you that opportunity. For me, it was like my lectures were people who used to, any opportunity they used to get, then they will tell me, because they see how passionate I was or how interested I was. And don't ever feel stupid for asking questions. Don't. That's one thing is always ask question, as stupid as they might be. That might be very helpful for you. The matter of fact is, most people who have met in my life as engineers, no one has ever made me feel stupid for asking a questions, because even them, they were at that place once before. Like, so every one of us is ready to help, and every one of us is ready to learn. So anytime you have a question, always ask, don't stop yourself, and that will make you learn more and more every day. Like,
Excellent. And that's really good advice, I think, not only for people pursuing mechanical engineering, but for people going into college in general, to develop them connections and a relationship with your lecturers to make sure you get the most from it. And I suppose if you're looking for more information specifically on mechanical engineering or motorsport, visit our website, smartfutures.ie or formulafemale.org, specifically for motorsport. So you might be able to find some more information there. I hope that answered your question. And there's a few more questions coming in here. Do you have any advice for someone who knows what they want to do? So if they know what they want to do engineering, but don't know what type of engineering to go into?
they know what engineer. No, I mean,
I'll phrase that again. They know they want to do engineering, but don't know what type.
well, this was exactly for me too. Like, so I knew once I found out that I have to do engineering because I'm good at maths, physics, and chemistry, I started to learn about each engineering. And like petroleum engineering, I learned about it. And I couldn't do petroleum engineering because you have to go to only countries which produce petrol. So that was already a no for me. Like, I couldn't work globally. So, and then I went to another type of engineering. There's mechanical. You see mechanical engineer, are you really interested on the mechanical side of things? Like, or you're not? If you're interested, then go ahead with that. Civil engineering, like, you have to explore all of them first of all. Like, you have to read what they do and what are the job opportunities. Like, okay, there's so many engineering. There's civil engineer, there's mechanical engineer, there's electronic engineering. Which one will I will have more options to choose from. Let's say if I go to electronic engineers, do I only have to work as an electronic engineer, or there's other careers which I can get from being from having a degree of electronic engineers? Or apart from that, is does it have a good marketing? Like, is it something that it's a day to day, like, or is it something that it's easier for you to get a job? And also, if you're interested in it and you think you can get a job, I know for most people will tell you money is not it's not everything, but it is. It plays a big role in our life. So if you're finding something, find something that you're passionate about, but it will make you good money too. So be like because once you do something and it doesn't give you good money, it will be boring for you, or it will be stressful for you that you'll have to find another career. Now, a lot of careers in engineer can give you good money, but you have to be sure if that's the way you want to do it. Like, okay, now I'm a civil engineer, I'm a beam technician, but anytime I want to become a proper civil engineer, like a design engineer, then it's easier for me to go to that level because I already have a degree in civil engineer, but I can do that part too. If I want to work on the business side, then I also have that option. Or if I want to become a lecturer, I have that option too. So like for me, civil engineer had so many options which I could choose from. That's why I chose civil engineering. And I also felt like I don't really have to work. I can work at home, I can work in the office if I'm a civil engineer, I mean, as a beam technician. While if you also interested in civil engineering, but you don't want to work from the office, you want to work at site, then you have that option too. So once you have all those careers, I mean, like different types of engineering, explore them, read about them, look at it, which will interest you more, which has good marketing too, which will make your life easier, or you will be more interested, and on the salary side too will be a good salary or something. And then that will help you in choosing what type of engineering you want to do. Like,
I suppose on that, and to go back to questions in the chat, what subjects for your leaving cert or that you took in high school do you think were most applicable to your career in engineering? So along with maths, that being the obvious one.
yeah, maths. I did construction and engineering as a subject. So we had that in our college, like, I mean, in our high school. So I did construction and I did engineering as a subject, and I did art and maths and English also, because once you have projects which you have to do, like, what are they called? Like the thesis. I don't know how to pronounce the word. Yeah, like writing projects will be easier if you have English, or if you have, like, I mean, it might be the basic English, but once you know how to reference, once you know the whole thing, it makes it easier too. So the subject that really applied the most, it might be maths and engineering and construction too, because I knew how things work. Like in construction, I was taught plumbing, and also that has also helped in civil engineer, because I know how the pipes or something, how they work. Like, so, and art, yeah.
Excellent. And I suppose that probably refers to the creative aspects of your job too. I suppose for our viewers, a lot of them being aged, going into the leaving cert, or maybe just before, preparing for college is a big thing that's on their mind at the moment. So how did you prepare for your first year in college? Like, what kind of technology did you get, or how did you plan and organize your time?
Like that was when I was doing my living set.
Well, I suppose when you're preparing for college, so after your leaving cert.
My living set. Being honest, when I did my living set, I had lost very close people to me. So I wasn't sure if I would be able to go to college. But then I had good teachers who pushed me into still signing up for college, even if I wasn't sure I was going to college, because my mind wasn't in the right place. But I did sign up for college. I mean, I did put in my CEO and everything, like, but at the same time, I also applied for fashion designing as a career that let's say I don't pass well to go to college, then I'm going to do this for 1 year, then go to the other way. Like, but what preparation I guess is, first you have to be ready to know that it's a different it's different from secondary school. Like, it's not the same as secondary school. Now for secondary school you might have more help than in college, or you might have more. I mean, the teachers are always telling you what to do, or do this, do that, while in college is sometimes you're just given a project and you have to do it or not. Like, and I mean, like, once you're given a project, you're told, here's a project, do what you can, and you're not given like more information. Like, so you have to be ready to know that when I go to college, it's not going to be there will be help, but it won't be so much help as the way you had in high school. So in college, you have to be prepared to be independent. You have to be prepared that once I go to college, I might not get so much help as the way I used to get in high school. So how am I going to make it work? You have to learn time planning. Like, how am I going to manage my time? Because once you don't learn how to manage your time, that will be so hard for you in college, because you'll have so many projects. So you have to learn time management in order for you to know like to make your life easier in college, because you'll have so many projects at 1 week, and once you don't know how to manage your time, then it will be so hard for you to finish all those projects at once. And another thing was, you have to be ready to meet new people. So be friendly, be how can I say, like, you have to be friendly, you have to be open to know more people, expose yourself and learn about people. I mean, I don't mean learn about people, but like, get to know people, get to meet people. Don't put yourself on like a corner. Like, anywhere you go, just try to meet new people, try to make new friends. That will help you so much too. And they don't have to be friends who are in the same cause as you, because I will tell you, I was in a class which was full of boys. Now most of the time we're in class, after we finish class, everyone goes their own way. But most of my friends were people who are doing like applied science, or people who are doing social care. So like, sometimes you're so tired to talk about engineering, go to those people who you don't have to talk about it. You don't have to talk about projects, you don't have to talk about exams. You just talk about normal things which will refresh you too. So it's good to make friends, it's good to make to learn how to time manage. And you have to also learn how to depend on yourself if you don't have any other help. Like,
Yeah, and that really does answer the question. Being organized, and in terms of time management, you will have a lot more things on your plate when you go to college. So I think that's really, really good advice.
yeah.
I am conscious of the time, so I think there's a few questions we have in the chat, but hopefully we'll have a feature up on our website, smartfeatures.ie, featuring Rahima. So hopefully, if there's any questions that we don't get time to answer today, we will cover in a feature on our website coming up next week. So I think we'll go one more question, and I think this is a nice one to end on. Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
That's where do I see myself in 5 years' time? Obviously, I want to be successful. I mean, I don't want to be the same level. I want to be another level, like, and which I hope maybe I'll be 2 levels up from where I am today. But also, I think in 5 years' time, I want to see so many girls who are inspired by me. Like, I want to make life easier for people who are like thinking, okay, it's impossible, but um, for them just to be inspired by what I'm doing, um, by my life, or how I took my career path or something. So in 5 years' time, I just want to see myself happy and in a higher level than where I am. I don't have really, I can say, oh, I want to be very rich or something. No, but I think one thing I'll say is, first, I want to be happy, and then in another level of learning not the same level as I am. That's all I can say, like, for now.
Excellent. And I think, yeah, no, everyone wants to feel like they're progressing. And I think them sort of goals are practical and definitely something to strive for in the next 5 years. So I think that's pretty much all we have time for today, because I am conscious that we're running close to 12 o'clock. So thank you, Rahima. That was excellent. And thank you for all the great questions, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed today's discussion. If you want to learn more about careers in engineering, visit our website at www.smartfutures.ie. There we have interviews with other STEM professionals discussing their careers and the journey they took to achieve it. There is also general information about other STEM careers, so you can discover what is most suited for you. Also, check us out on social media. For more information on how to win a pair of Apple AirPods, visit our Instagram at SmartFuturesIreland. Follow the account and tag 2 of your friends under the most recent competition post to be entered. We'll be announcing the winner next week. Once again, a massive thank you to Rahima and everyone who contributed questions during today's discussion. We'll be live again next month to discuss careers in science with another industry professional, and we hope that you will join us again. So thank you everyone for listening, and I hope you really gained something from today's discussion, because I know I learned lots, and I hope our viewers did as well. So thank you very, very much, Rahima. It's been excellent.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for everyone who tuned in. Like, it means a lot. Thank you.
Excellent. Bye, everyone.